Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Level With You show. My name is Wiley Olmsted, and this week I am joined by the full squad of Level With You. We've got the Sub-Zero hero, Kenny Castro. What's going on?
How's it going? Say hi to your mother for me.
The
Hey,
not
Mom.
so phantom producer,
Mom, my
Tyler
friend wants to say hi.
Howdy doodly, everybody.
Hadley. And he is back, and he is better than ever. The Do Artistic one, Anthony Duart.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. If you did not
Classic.
know, this is a weekly video game podcast where we talk about, you guessed it, video games. We would so appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button so you would know whenever a new episode or whenever other new content drops on our channel, of which there is a fair amount, decent amount. You might see more elsewhere, but we're getting there.
You can also
And you
listen
can
to
join-
us on podcast services like, I don't know, Spotify, or I don't know, iTunes, or I don't know, Google Play.
That's completely correct. Thank you for reminding me, Tyler. And if you'd like to join our Discord, where you can squad up, chat, leave us questions for the show, look in the description below. You will find instructions on how to do so. All right. We have CyberPunk coming in 2 days. That's what the show will be about next week. But until then, we're going to do our usual spiel about what we've been playing, what's been going on in our lives, how things are going. Why don't we start with you, Anthony? You weren't here last week. What's you been going on with?
Just the usual. Getting fat. I'm not really doing a whole lot. It's cold outside. That's nothing too much. Just been playing more Yakuza when I can and working on some commissions. But other than that, just doing a whole lot of the same. Not too much. Not too much is crazy. I got my cat. I got our cat down from a tree in the backyard last night. So that was fun.
Interesting. How did it get up there? Is it an outdoor one?
No, it is an indoor cat.
Oh, dang.
She's a little, it's not a kitten anymore, but she's still pretty small. But we got her, and I was coming home from work yesterday. I stepped into the house, and I had my hands full of a big thing of yogurt, like a Costco size thing of yogurt, some muffins, and like I think a lunchbox or something. And I went to open the door, and as I opened the door, she's just standing right there. She always just stands there and waits whenever you come home. She'll stand there, and I was like, oh shit, because I was in a very bad position to really not be able to touch or move anything. So I looked at her, and she looked at me, and then she looked at me, and I looked at her. And I said, no, and time slowed down, and she went right out the door. So then I threw the yogurts and muffins, and they landed in my doorway. The muffins went everywhere. The yogurt, thankfully, was still
Oh
in
my
the box.
gosh.
So I was like, oh, fuck. And I ran out the door, and I had just let JPEG out, the little dog that's here with us. And he had just gotten himself trying to chase the cat tangled up in our little Christmas ornament that we have in the front yard. So I was like, God damn it, no, I'll be right back. So I ran around the back. And I saw her like just standing there, and I was like, "You piece of shit, come here!" I was like, "It's okay, come here, kitty." And then she just looked at me and saw a bunny run away in the yard. So naturally, she ran after the bunny. So as she's bolting that way, I'm trying to like run down this little slope we have in the backyard on the like iced over snow that just happened on Saturday. And I get down there, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm trying to like approach her closely, and she's just getting farther away from me until she gets to like the back almost woods area. And on the right side of our house, there's like a big drop in the backyard. It's just like a hill that goes down. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get her. She goes down there. And thankfully, she didn't go that way. She went forward towards a stone wall. So I crept up, and she was like maybe 4 feet in front of me. And then she just jumps onto this tree and grabs onto the tree, trying to chase us. It looked like a squirrel or something. And she's just standing there.
This is a wild
But-
one for being an indoor kitty.
She's nuts. She's an absolute fireball. And she didn't know what to do. I don't think she thought she would get that far. So she just clung to the tree and like didn't do anything and just looked back at me. And I was like, oh, it's now or never. So I went and I grabbed her and pulled her up and got her. And she was just freaking out the whole time, like, let me go.
Oh my gosh.
And I got her back inside.
So you didn't even have to alert the roommates.
Not yet.
They're watching
But
right now.
They're here. They're listening. No, I
No,
told them yesterday after the fact, I was like, we have a pretty good tree climber.
Nice.
really good.
Well, I have gotten in the habit of taking out Pepper on daily walks. It's just part of his routine right now. He either will be taken before work by Elena, or I'll do it a little later on in the afternoon after she's gone to work. And if he doesn't get it, he whines like a little dog and just is not happy. But he's out there for half an hour. When he gets back in, he's content. He's got out his zoomies and his attempt at catching birds, which he never does, and he's content to be a lazy, slowly getting chubby kitty cat who just turned 1 on December 3rd. So shout out to Pepper. Happy birthday.
Happy
That's my
Pepper
kind of
Day.
cat.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Peps.
Happy birthday. Hey.
What about you, Kenny? What's going
I don't
on?
know about you guys, but I can smell my feet. They smell gross. You ever have that when you you smell your feet through your socks? Sorry, I
Nah.
didn't mean to cut you off, Kenny. I was just like,
There are
No.
days though when I forget to put on deodorant in the morning. I mean, it's easy when you work from home nowadays. So then,
is.
by the time 5 o'clock rolls around, I'm like smelling something, and it's me.
Smelling
You're like, "Oh,
super rancid down there under the armpits.
I don't know about you guys,
That's
and
where
this
the
is
good
probably
stuff
just a
is."
me thing, but during the colder months, my feet tend to sweat more, and I
Yeah.
need to
Oh,
change
yeah.
my socks more throughout the day. Like I usually will change my socks once a day, if I'm like home working, which I do almost every day now. So am I alone there? Any other sock changers?
Nah,
You
my
gotta
feet
throw
my
some
feet don't
baby
get
powder
sweaty.
on them joints while they throw baby powder on it.
Yeah.
That's what I do for my junk. I do that in the morning before I go to work. So I'm always moving around a lot, and
You
like I
throw
said
some-
before, I'm getting fat, so like my thighs are starting to slap together when I walk. So nice little bit of baby powder down there helps
you throw
things move
some
along.
talcum powder down there. Eh.
Oh yeah. But yeah.
Talcum powder. I hear that's good to make shoes not squeak.
I don't know. Feel like I throw talcum powder at everything.
Huh.
You're pretty good.
Door squeaking talcum powder.
I probably should change my socks with this smell. That'd probably be a good choice.
Yeah,
I don't
Maybe
know,
so.
we might be
my feet
smelling it
actually don't
in a
smell.
second.
They don't smell. They don't really sweat.
Really? Ever?
No,
Ever?
not really. I
Tyler
mean,
Tyler gets
when I go to the
baby
gym, I'll change
pedicures.
them, but
You're a lucky
You-
lucky guy in that
You guys
aspect.
got to get your pedicure game up. Tyler goes like twice a week.
Hmm. I know that business is like one of the most hardest hit from COVID. It's a shame.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that does suck.
Vaccines taken today in Britain, though. There is hope. There is light around the corner. We may be able to do the show in person in just a few months, maybe sooner. We'll see. But anyway, I was going to ask Kenny how things going over with you. I know you've been streaming that Yakuza. You've been enjoying the Series X. Anything else going on that you'd like to highlight?
Wrapping gifts.
Ah, okay.
Slaving
Nice.
away, wrapping
Yeah,
gifts. I feel like
got your
ever
Santa
since
Claus hat on.
I ever since I learned how to wrap gifts, the fiance just doesn't wrap gifts anymore.
There you go.
Is
It's
that something
I
that she
always
did
save
for
it till like
years?
the last minute.
I regret it. I regret watching YouTube videos now. Like
You watch
it was
YouTube
one of the-
videos to do it? I
yeah,
just did it.
it was like no, because when I used to just do it, it'd be crumpled and it'd be like some
Yeah, but that
nonsense.
that adds character to it. Plus, I can't really tell what's in there. It's a bigger
Nope.
surprise.
So then she complained one time, and I was like, you know what? YouTube videos. YouTube was like taught me, and I was like, now I'm a pro. But now I wrap everything: birthday gifts, Christmas, baby gifts, baby showers, everything.
Babies themselves.
I wrap babies up too. I hand them to that bird, the bird that takes it, brings it to the parents. That's how
Mr.
babies are
Stork.
born, right?
You gotta be careful.
stork.
That's Mr. Korsk. Yeah, that's his brother.
Korsk.
He's the one. He eats the babies. You gotta make sure you get Stork.
You got to get the stork, not
Yeah,
corks.
not Korsk.
I'm with Anthony. I'm definitely a procrastinator as far as wrapping goes. I just have it pile up gifts in a secret corner in my closet, and then once it's 3-4 days before, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm taking 2 hours, gonna put on a podcast and wrap a shitload of gifts.
Mhm.
Hell
I
yeah.
see that.
Yeah, I actually this past weekend I had I don't know, I just had like a feeling like I wasn't really doing much, so I'm just gonna wrap a couple gifts. But now I'm kind of like in this predicament of so me and Caitlin just ordered like stockings for each other, for the both of us, I guess. So now I need to decide what I'm putting in the stocking and then what I'm gonna wrap. So
Candy.
Oh my
I'm waiting for
let's
the
not talk
stocking.
about-
Oh, come on, for
let's
the
not talk about
stocking, just
stocking, man.
for
Like,
stockings. I mean, that's just like candy and coffee
Socks.
cups. And,
Yeah. Maybe a pair of scissors.
I got
I'm putting
called
gifts in
out
there.
for being horrible at the stocking last year. Like she literally looked at me. She was like, "You're gonna do my stocking again this year?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, you sucked last year. And I was like,
At least she's honest.
I was like, huh?
Ooh.
I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
So I've never had to do Elena's stocking because it's always been we were at her folks for Christmas morning and my parents for Christmas afternoon, and that's just something that my mom and my mother-in-law just still really enjoy, I think. So I haven't
Yep,
had that difficulty, that struggle of not
until
satisfying her.
you show up this year and her dad's like, listen, you took her hand in marriage.
You're the
And
man
it's
now.
And
You
you're
do
the
the
man.
stocking.
You're the man
Stocking.
now. Here's the stocking. You hang it at your home now.
Here's the
I'm
stocking.
tired-
Stuff
I'm
it.
tired of buying chocolates and candies. You stuff it.
Okay.
You stuff my
Okay.
daughter's stocking
I'll
for
start
now
preparing
on.
myself
sir.
mentally for that because I could see that happening.
You're gonna get the
Uh,
talk.
So
Funny, I feel bad for my stepdaughter when she ends up getting married in the future. I'm gonna be horrible.
yeah, you're gonna be
Imagine that-
Robert De Niro on Dominican steroids.
No, you're gonna be fine. It'll
You
be
trying to
fun.
milk my cat
It'll
fucker,
be
huh?
the fun.
You trying to milk my cat, huh? You trying to milk my
Oh.
cat? You saw him?
Classic Meet the Pears reference. I love it.
Milk his cat?
Yeah,
Dude,
you don't remember Meet the Parents?
I never saw it.
Oh my god,
Never saw Meet
Oh,
the Parents.
wow.
I'm bad.
such a funny movie.
I loved it back in the day. When it
Mhm.
first came out, I think I was 11. I think it came out in 2001. Don't ask me why. I'm good at remembering movie years, but I thought it was the funniest movie I had ever seen at that point. And like, it has not aged that well, probably. I'm sure I would not
Probably
think that
not.
if I watched it today. But I was a little movie buff back in 4th, 5th grade, and I wrote a review for it, and I was like, 5 stars, funniest movie of all time.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Is the sequel Meet the Fockers? Is that the sequel
Yeah.
to Meet the Parents? And
Yeah,
that's like the pun on Meet the Fuckers joke. Because haha, funny, swear.
pretty much.
Mhm.
Well,
Which,
okay, I never knew that.
Then they
Yep.
made another third movie called Little Fockers.
Oh,
Yep.
I do remember the commercials for that. And I was like, okay. I was like, well,
Meet
get
the Fockers
joke.
was okay, but even as
It
a
wasn't
kid,
as funny as the first one.
yeah, even as a kid, I was like, this just wasn't as good. It felt forced.
Mm.
Um,
You know what movie didn't feel forced? Off topic, Zoolander.
the first one, yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
The
Oh,
second
yeah.
one definitely forced. Zoolander with Blue Steel.
Oh yeah, classic.
Mhm.
That was another. That was when Ben Stiller was the comedy king.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
seriously.
It was good.
Yeah, with there's something about Mary,
Oh my
Zoolander,
god.
and what's the one we were just talking about?
How'd you get the
Dodgeball?
Franks above the beams?
Oh yeah, Dodgeball, of course.
How'd
So,
you
yeah,
get the beams above the Franks? How?
and Meet the Parents is the one we were talking about. Who's the comedy king nowadays? I guess you'd have to say.
Hmm.
Adam Sandler still hands down.
I mean, he's had quite a comeback with his
I
Netflix
know.
shit.
Yeah.
But no, I'd have to give it to
Hmm.
like
Surprised he has.
Kevin Hart. Even though
Yeah.
Chappelle's made a big strong push back.
When it comes to movies, it would be Kevin Hart. He's everywhere.
There's Seth Rogen and James Franco combo.
That
Yeah.
combo is deadly.
It is, but
Yep.
it's also kind of dead.
Yeah,
Lee.
they haven't done anything in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually was thinking of a movie plot. Me and my coworker were talking about it today because he brought up. I never heard about this until before today. Was the P allegations or like the P video with Trump? Apparently
You
that was a
ever
whole
heard
thing.
about that?
No, did you guys hear about that?
Yes.
Yeah, the whole P thing, and I was like, "Whoa, wait, okay." For the viewers that don't know what this is about, apparently, there's a very scandalous theory that there's a video of Donald Trump watching two ladies pee on a bed in the Ritz Carlton, and he's just sitting there going, "Oh yeah." Oh,
In Russia, where
Russia,
Obama
yep.
used to stay, where it stayed.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
it was. And the plot for the movie that I had was James Franco and Seth Rogen. They somehow get mixed up and they acquire the P video from like a CIA Secret Service guy. Like James Franco's just hanging at his house and his like internet goes down or something. And he's like, "Oh, I want to invite my nerdy friend over," played by Seth Rogen, who's like, "Yeah, I'll fix your internet." And somehow he's like, "Oh, let's get really high." And then they get high and like somehow like break into some CIA server and like there's like a van outside or something, and they get the video for some means, and then they get to spend the whole movie avoiding the CIA and the president and by hiding the video.
And they haven't fully watched the video, so they're like, it's a Trump P video. You gotta watch it.
It's a Trump P video. Oh no, they totally watch it. You don't see it. They it's like one of those ones from behind the computer. You just see them watching it. You don't get to see any of it. Maybe like one little shot of like a girl going, and it's just you just hear Trump's voice going, "I'll tell you, that puddle's gonna be huge."
Do you know what the movie is called? Is it this one I'm seeing, Zeroville?
The what movie?
the movie in Ant's head.
Oh, that was a movie in your head?
Yeah, I just made the plot up. Yeah,
Oh.
it's not a real movie.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, you convinced me. I was like, I guess this is what they're doing now, and I'm surprised I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, see, you guys want to call me up? I'll help you write it.
And we got a golden retriever in the chat. He's asking you to release your P tapes.
Oh, trust me, I don't know, man. I'm waiting to release those till we get smell-o-vision. Not till you can smell it, then we'll see it.
That's a bright yet scary future.
Depends on how dehydrated you are, because that'll be bright yellow.
True.
So Tyler, you're the last one we haven't checked in on. Anything going on in Chicopee that we need to be appraised of before we talk
how's
about
your pee? Is it dehydrated? Is it yellow?
Nothing too crazy. Pee's been pretty clear lately. Been pretty hydrated. One thing I will mention is that my dad gave me an early Christmas gift. He got me a
flashlight.
No, not
Ooh.
not yet.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
He got me an electric smoker. So I was like, all right, sweet. I'll try this out.
What? Okay.
So-
how was it?
Smoking's bad.
So I ended up like hooking it up. The instructions say that you should like pre-season it first. So like run it with nothing in it and then like add some wood chips to pre-season like the entire thing. So I did that. So I did that the day that I opened it and like put it all together. And then I was like, all right, I had like some brisket and some ribs that I was going to smoke like the next day. Or actually, no, I was going to do it today. So I plugged it in today and it just like wouldn't work. It was like the temperature reading like wasn't working or something like that. And I have like no idea what's going on. So I've come down to two conclusions. Either one, there's something malfunctioning and faulty with it, or two, they fail to say in the instructions that it shouldn't be used in like winter cold weather, because part of me is thinking that could be a reason, because it was sitting in the shed like overnight, like the internal temperature just got like messed with because it was sitting out there for so long.
So did you have to bring it inside and like warm it up before you could use it?
I don't know, man. I put out a support request out to Masterbuilt, hoping they get back to me.
Call
I was
it
pretty
I hope
bummed.
so. That would be quite a addition to your cooking repertoire.
I
Come over
know.
and get some smoked brisket from you. That'd be.
I know. So I was really like banking on like that happening today, where I didn't want like the meat to go, because I got the meat on Friday, I think, so I didn't want it to like wait too much longer before I actually made it. So I just ended up like throwing it in the oven for a while at like a low temperature. It's not the same though.
You didn't get one of those full ass briskets, did you?
I did, but I split it.
Okay, you split it and then you put half in the freezer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This just gives you an excuse to get a Wendy's now.
Exactly.
Well, I still made it. It's just like not as good
But you
as it
still
being
go
smoked.
get Wendy's,
What'd you season it
right?
with?
Wendy's sauce?
Just like a bunch of garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and then like for like the last 3 hours I put in some like apple cider vinegar in the bottom under some tin foil.
Any ground mustard into that?
No brown mustard.
It's not making Chinese food, Kenny.
No, ground, not brown.
Oh no.
Brown. It's just a.
Oh well,
It's the old mustard.
What's funny about brisket and barbecue brisket is that the most, I guess Texas is sort of the king of the brisket. You know, each region sort of has their specialty. You got North Carolina, South Carolina, kind of claiming that their pulled pork is the best. St. Louis is real big on their ribs. Texas, their pride and joy is the brisket. and a
Mhm.
lot of them, especially Aaron Franklin, he uses only salt and pepper for his seasonings, and that's what we started to do at City Barbecue, or not City, but at Wildwood Barbecue towards the end of my working there, and it was great. I mean, we also just tweaked some other things about it, but just a
Hmm.
fun fact. Um,
Interesting.
I I love me some brisket, no matter what type of, or mostly no matter what you put on it.
Right.
All right,
I
let's
like it.
talk about some video games. That was a nice, healthy intro. Thanks for the spirited conversation. This week, we're going to be touching on Blasphemous. Wiley finally finished that one. We've got an update with some new Mortal Kombat 11 characters. Tyler's finally wrapped up Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We are only 2 days away from CyberPunk, so we're going to be talking about later in the show our most anticipated game that we've ever had. I thought that since Cyberpunk has now been on the release schedule for 8 years, something like that, definitely the entire generation, something that we just see a little bit more every E3, and you think to yourself, is it ever coming out? It's finally happening. Critics have reviews out. We're going to be doing some review roundups as well. But before we do that, when we talk a little bit about stuff we've been playing, anybody have any volunteers on who wants to go first?
I can go ahead first if you want me to, Wiley.
That would be swell. You finished up Valhalla. We've been talking about it for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Give me your final thoughts and how it stacks up to some other favorites of the year for you.
I enjoyed it. I think one of the things that stood out to me was, and I kept on mentioning to you guys, was wasn't exactly sure if I've like finished like the story or not, because I'm so used to like games just like rolling credits.
Yeah, Mister,
Yeah.
I beat Animal Crossing in like a day.
Yeah, right. Actually, it's impossible to beat Animal Crossing in a day.
You're like,
What-
dude. If I
Not
remember
if you
correctly from the group
fast-forward
chat, you're like,
time.
guys, just rolled credits on Animal Crossing. No big deal. KK Slider. Smart. We're bros now.
You know, he sung my favorite song for me. He dedicated it. Gave me a shout out.
Yeah,
He gave me Saturday night. KK Slide was like,
yeah, he said screw everybody else. Tyler's the best at Animal Crossing.
I
Goodbye.
don't know how they programmed into the game.
KK
It just
bye.
showed up. KK bye.
But no, Assassin's Creed, I really liked it. I mean, there's still plenty of stuff to do. I definitely have not gone through and like got all the synchronization, fast travel points. There's still tons of like the mystery side quests. I haven't even gotten close to like getting all of the armor and the gear. Yeah, the wealth in there. I am pretty close to taking out all of the order members. I think all I have left is like 5 or 6 zealots, and then I'm pretty sure once I kill the rest of them, then I'll finally get the last clue to figure out who the head of everybody is.
The head Templar
Yep.
or whatever. And you did mention that it doesn't roll credits, which, to their defense, it gives you the impression that, oh, you're not done. Keep on playing. Keep on buying skins. Keep on waiting for next week's
DLC.
ultimate vampire skin pack or whatever they decide to do. But I
Right.
do think it would be nice for the thousands of developers that worked on these massive games that they get that moment of recognition. I think that
Yeah.
kind of annoys me how
Forced
Netflix-
recognition.
well, yeah, it should be. You enjoyed their product for however long
No,
it was. whether
I
it's-
agree. I agree that there
Yeah.
should be like a forced recognition that you have to like, or at least it gets put in front of you. Then you don't have to like actually click on like the credits on the home screen to see it, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
I hate when they do that. I'd much rather enjoy it. Like it feels like an accomplishment in itself when you're like, yeah, I got to the credits. I beat the game.
Yeah, it's a nice cathartic moment where you're like, just sit back, like, let me update my Google document with all the games I've beat.
Or take a big pee because I've been sitting down trying to pee
Yeah.
for the past like 10 minutes.
Maybe I'm in a situation where I was like, you're not getting another beer till you beat this boss, all right?
Oh God, no.
I can finally go get another beer.
there you go.
But yeah, so I personally also been playing Valhalla, as people listening to the show know. I have decided that I'm going to not have it be my main slice at the moment. I have Cyberpunk right around the corner. I feel like I can watch a few YouTube videos if I need a story refresher and jump back in. either if that's on Christmas break or in January. I will get through it. I feel confident in that because it's not like I've disliked my time with it. It's just not really pulling me in, and I don't really want to keep ticking away at it at right now. That's just I have the luxury of doing that. I'm not reviewing it. Tyler's already said his piece on it, so
You're taking a
uh,
break. It's not
I'm
you, it's
taking a
me.
break. Exactly. There you go.
It's not you, it's me. I just need a little bit of a space.
I do feel like that part in Asgard that you were so high on, I was a little less so. I understand why you were so impressed, but having seen similar things in the two previous games, I was not as caught off guard by it. Like there's really cool mystical things in Odyssey and Origins, and with this one, I just lost the story beat pretty quickly, and I was just like, I don't even know what's happening. Just let me get back to Eivor because I'm just sort of disengaged with the story here. Were you into the whole Asgard story arc?
I mean, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was like a good change of pace from the main story arc. 'Cause I mean, the whole like concept of, or what I found like kind of like the whole kind of like tie-in with the Asgard and like the main story quest is that there are characters who are kind of like the reincarnation of all these gods that are in Asgard. Those Norse gods that you meet. And you don't really like find out who's who until later on, who everybody
Oh, okay.
is really.
Well, that's kind of neat. I did not know that. It sort of seemed like I was trying to find the point. I'll say some of the actors that are portraying, Thor and Loki and other godlike figures seemed extremely ordinary in terms of their appearance, and I guess I'm just used to seeing what we get from the Marvel side of things. But anyway, I'm glad that you enjoyed your time. What was your final hour count?
I think it was right around. I think it was between 70 and 80, most likely.
Okay.
May have been
Right.
even a little bit less.
Word. Well, then
Damn.
I've heard that there's definitely like 100 to 120 hours of content, so I bet there's more there. And you think you'll be back for the Ireland DLC and whatever they decide to do with it?
Hey, maybe we'll see how far along I am with Cyberpunk.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's gonna be well after that. So, and how about you, Mr. Kenny? We played some Rogue Company. I thought we could give the folks an update on that.
My bad. I was stuffing my face with some gummy bears.
That's okay. So you just got every achievement in Rogue Company, which is a
Yes, I
third-person
did.
shooter that has been out of early access for a few weeks, unbeknownst to me, until a few days ago when I finally downloaded it for free. It's team-based, 4v4, kind of characters based, as in something like Overwatch, but siege type rounds where you're just trying to get to 5 wins quicker.
Yep.
And from my 2 hours with it, I will say that I think it's worth trying for sure. It's free now, and if you're into multiplayer shooters with your friends, I think that the shooting feels tighter than I expected it to. The match to match progression was very easy to understand and made the game as a whole just feel accessible. The maps were pretty well laid out, and Kenny and what was your friend's name?
Murphy.
Murph. Yeah, he was. They were good guides for me, so I felt pretty quickly acclimated to what I was doing, and was contributing in the small ways. But Kenny's been pretty hard on the grind for, I guess, a few weeks now. If you got all the achievements, right?
Yeah. I kind of dove back in after Murph installed it, and he kind of committed. He was like, I'm gonna play this hardcore," and I'm like, okay, I'm nasty at it. I'll get back in it. And we've been going pretty hard with it. My last achievement was notching. The last achievement I got was notching my 100th win in the game.
Okay, yeah, that's
So
a
win
sizable
100.
win.
So
You won 100 games. That means you've won 500 rounds.
yeah, practically.
Word. That's
Damn.
a
Yeah.
bunch. Tyler, you
Congrats.
played this back a few weeks ago. What were your thoughts on it?
I like it. It's a good game. At least back when I was playing it, it was. I mean, it sounds like it's still a solid game. Um, I got kind of tired of it. And like, have they added any like new game modes, or how is it still just kind
So
of the same
they've added
things? Or
they started adding limited time modes. Like right now they have a limited time snipers only. So every doesn't matter what character you pick, everybody starts with a sniper and their sidearm.
hmm,
And it's a strikeout, so it's like a team deathmatch.
yep,
They added the ranked gameplay to it.
Ooh.
So now there's actually ranked gameplay that you can max out at rank 30, and that's a grind to do. I already won 2 matches, and I'm only halfway through to getting to rank 2. So it's gonna be a little bit. Even if I'm attempting to get to rank 30, do I think it's possible? I think so. I think that me and Murph we've developed a couple nice character combos. They added a character named Dahlia to the roster. I'm not sure if you played when Dahlia after Dahlia got added, but Dahlia can link to another character and take their passive.
that's cool.
Ooh.
So what we run is a Dahlia Lancer combo sometimes, but because Lancer is a flanking character, like somebody you use to flank the other team, because her super is silent step. So for 9 seconds she could run at full speed and nobody can hear her running. Right.
That's
And
pretty
she's
cool.
practically silent and can't be revealed to the enemy. And her passive is the most important part of her. Her dodge roll is an instant reload
Ooh,
of her gun. So you
Yeah,
could get
that's
into a
good.
fight with multiple people and just dodge roll and always have your gun reloaded on your dodge roll. So you're on one-on-one fights. She's meant to win most one-on-one fights, and she forces teams to trade fire with her. So what's good about her is that then Dahlia picks her passive up. So that means there's 2 characters that can exchange with anybody and roll and reload instantly with their dodge roll now. So not only Lancer, but also Dahlia, because Dahlia linked and took the passive. So that's a nice little combo we run
Hmm.
when we decide to go super aggressive. When we
that's
don't,
neat.
yeah, when we don't go aggressive, with this is another aggressive one, but we go V and Dima. So I love Dima, Tyler.
Yep.
And what V does, V has these practically like leech bombs that she throws out. So she throws it out, pops, and then it spreads all across the floor, and it creates a spot where if walked through, it leeches health away from the enemy, and it provides
Yeah,
it
she
back
was
to V.
annoying.
And so she's annoying. So we could kind of force people into corners. So with her, when he throws the poison down, that limits their space, and then I pop my grenade launchers. So then that just suffocates them into a corner. At that point in time they have to choose to run through the poison and come to us to get away from my grenade launchers. So it's nice
Sounds
little
like
tactics we've been
some nice
developing.
layers of strategy there, and especially if you start really playing hardcore with 4 people, I imagine it could get even more so. I think
Oh
it's a
yeah,
nice bridge between something casual like a third-person shooter like a Fortnite, which of course can be every game can be hardcore, but
yeah,
just from a immediate accessibility standpoint and Siege, like to me, Siege right now, there's so many characters, people have been playing it for
oh yeah.
years, and it's just even 2 3 years ago when I was trying to get into it, I couldn't. So I think people
100%. I agree, Tyler, with you. I'm Wiley there because we tried to jump back into Siege, and I was like, no, no, not doing it. So many characters I didn't know who to run with. I didn't know what the meta was. I feel like I need to watch see ranked Siege streams for like a day or two.
3 hours, yeah,
Yeah, like
or
I need
more.
to dedicate time and like really watch what the meta is, what people are running, who are people banning between matches. Like there's so much that goes into it. Like you don't know who to ban, what map and on what maps are you which locations are you preferring, or what others. There's so much going on in Siege that I'm so behind on that it's tough for me to jump back just cold turkey back in. So I've been struggling there. And what's up, Sky? I see you in the chat. How's it going?
What's going on, Sky? Just chatting it up about some Rogue Legacy. And now you had mentioned deathmatch, and it made me think of something Hyperscape, the game that Tyler gave a
Mhm.
go a couple months ago, now has a team deathmatch mode, which is
I tried that as well, actually.
oh, did you?
Shortly after Tyler, I didn't want to talk about it because it was a complete disappointment for me.
Aw. You tried the battle royale mode or the new mode?
Yeah, the battle royale mode.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I've
I
been
haven't touched it
hearing some
since.
decent things about the team deathmatch. Like maybe it wasn't the best type of game to be a battle royale after all, but
Mm.
I don't know. They're probably just doing their best to salvage that thing because it definitely seems like that was one that really came and went as far as the battle royale scene goes. But always hope.
Honestly, looking back on my time, I played what 5 matches of Hyperscape, and it really does. Looking back on it, feel like it's much better suited as a team deathmatch.
Hmm.
You know, it wasn't like the maps were overly huge, to begin with. Most of the time, I felt like I barely traveled that far, and the matches were over.
I actually never played
Um,
it, so I can't comment. But
well,
yeah,
yeah,
wasn't it like 60 players or something?
yeah, it wasn't a huge
Hmm.
count, and it kind of hectic and frenetic. Like they were trying to blend aspects from Apex to Fortnite, a little bit of everything.
So like old school Unreal Tournament where everything's just really
Yeah,
fast. Yeah.
yep. Tyler, lighten up, man. Stop looking sad. They noticing in the chat.
I'm not. I'm not sad.
He's sad about his smoker. We know.
I
This is
love
my
it.
happy face. Cool. So that is Rogue Company. You want to give a quick update on Yakuza and maybe update people on where they can watch your many streaming and video exploits?
So with Yakuza, we're wrapping up chapter 11 right now. We have been fighting cavemen in the swamps or in the sewers of Ijincho.
Grinding.
The Ijincho big three have fallen, collapsed. The great muscle, the great wall of muscle is down, and the Omi alliance is trying to invade. We're trying to push them back, and you can catch all of this on YouTube and on Twitch simultaneously. And just jump in there. Let it go for the ride with me. We're wrapping that up. We're trying to wrap it up, push through the last 4 chapters, last 4 or 5 chapters before CyberPunk in 2 days. So
Yeah, he's got to get
tall
ready.
order.
You
Hmm.
got
Yeah,
this,
that is a
Kenny.
tall order. You're gonna have to just hop on that right after the stream ends, I think.
I'm
Yeah,
about to
Right.
pretty
call
much.
out on Thursday morning and just stream on Thursday morning.
Do it.
There you go. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Anthony, have you found any weaknesses to those cavemen dudes?
I don't know what you're talking about with
He hasn't
caveman.
gone down to the underground dungeon yet, so he
I haven't
doesn't
been
know about the
back.
caveman.
Dang.
I
I'm
think
gonna dedicate. My plan was just to sit down and dedicate a whole other grinding session to that because I think I have everybody in my party right now that I can. So I want to go back
What
and
level are you at right now with your highest character?
I want to say like 35.
Look at that. He's a whole chapter ahead of me, and I'm practically 4 levels ahead of him.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Ooh,
grinding. Hell
dang.
yeah.
You're
Crazy.
I know
gonna
I haven't
run
gotten
in,
that. Well, you got like what, Mr. Moneybags or whatever you ran into in the sewer, the Sujimon guy who gives you a jillion experience.
Yep, the caveman. I followed. Tyler saw it in stream. Literally, when you beat him, you go up a whole level after beating him.
How do
Yeah.
you find him? He's just random, right?
So there's actually
You ran
3 or
in,
4 pits
you ran
that you
into
run
like
into.
3 of them like when I was watching.
Wow.
But 2 out of 4 ran away from me.
Oh, that sucks. So they're like metal slimes.
Yeah, they're exactly like the metal slimes.
yeah, we had this conversation last
And
week.
he does this
Hell
little
yeah.
thing, right? He'll like get scared. He'll be like, oh, and then just run,
Oh,
scurry
what
away.
what a bitch.
And he has so Tyler actually, went into my Suji decks to look for weaknesses, and
Mhm.
he has none.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Literally, when you go and it says weakness, everything's gray.
Oh, try
And I
using
was like,
you have the matriarch class, right? For the girls?
I haven't switched them into it. No.
You should do that and then get up to a certain level where you learn it's like basically it's just like Jade's in Dragon Quest 11's her it's
Oh, the
like
high crit
piercing
hit.
yeah, it's like the crit hit, but it's like piercing strike or something like that. You just time it with triangle and it's usually a pretty like big hit.
So you want to know what's funny is that the crits doesn't matter with this guy.
Really?
Because I hit him with a couple crits with the pigeon raid from Namba,
Mhm.
and it did nothing. It was still doing 1.
Wow.
1 damage. So what it is just you have to when you go into that dungeon, you have to really when you're about to fight them, your party needs to be people that have multiple hit combo attacks. So like
Okay.
Seiko's Clobber Fist, where she boxes them out, that's a good one
Yeah.
against them. The
Bum, bum,
Pigeon
bum,
Raid
bum,
is a
bum,
good
bum.
one because that hits like 5-6 times. I found
I just
actually a
got the
good one,
upgraded version
Tyler.
of that, and it's sick.
Oh yeah, I have the upgraded version of that too, the Pigeon Storm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
sick.
yeah,
You guys are
it's super
speaking a
dope.
foreign language right now, but
Well,
I love it.
so actually, there's a couple moves. I don't know if you have these, but I was showing off at the one point in time in the underground dungeon, like showing Tyler moves all
Mhm.
over the place. You
As you
have
should. They're
you
great.
have the orbital strike.
Yeah, I got that. I love that.
Yeah, he literally
It's
could
so sick.
call
He's
in an
just like,
orbital laser. How many how
I
many?
used it on the. Did you do the side mission with the circus?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
animals.
god.
I used that on
The
the chimp.
tiger, the bear, the chimp.
Yep. That's what I used the
Yeah,
laser on. That was the first one. I think that was the
that
only battle I've actually used summons on.
All right.
man.
Next time on the Yakuza show.
Ooh, ooh, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that was fair, Tyler. That he can talk about Yakuza for a few minutes.
No, I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to talk anymore about it. Nope, not gonna. Nope. Mm-mm.
The dictatorship here.
You guys should have a Yakuza show. Just walk through the entire game.
Well, honestly, I think once we wrap up, we should do an extra level.
I'm
The
down.
wrapping up Yakuza.
Hell
I
yeah!
like
If you guys
that.
did a spoiler cast, that'd be sick.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So I finished a game finally. As someone that usually completes about a game a week, it's
I
been a
know
few.
it's been a dry spell.
It's been a
You need to
dry
meet
spell.
quota,
I've
Wiley.
been.
Come on, man.
I know this is the first year where I might not hit. Well, no, there's been a couple years I didn't hit 40, but I finally finished Blasphemous, and I have to say that I think this is a really um, good to great 2D Metroidvania Souls-like. I think that the art style and polish on it is really excellent. I think the boss design is incredibly memorable. I think the music, the atmosphere, the progression, the exploration, it's all good. Like none of it, some of it more impressive than others. I think there are it doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. Like the combat's very heavy, uh, heavy attack or heavy light attacks and parries and the occasional magic spells and everything like that. But what I think that it does really well, as far as emulating the Souls series, is just having the right amount of mystery, where there are certain side quests that are just obtuse enough to where you feel like you're really discovering something when you complete them, but they're not so impossible to find that you never will. But now that I'm actually saying that out loud, there are a few that I just completely missed. So it gives you incentive to replay it if you really get into it. But I think that the difficulty is spot on as far as what you want from this type of game. Like certain bosses, very challenging. Some of them just take 1 or 2 tries. But I think by the end, they're pretty consistently holding your foot to the fire. And I died dozens of times, or not dozens, but more than a dozen times on a couple of the bosses. And I don't mind that. Like as long as I'm continuing to get better, that's actually one of my favorite things in games these days. Is just knowing that I'm well equipped for this boss. I have to learn its patterns. I'm slowly getting better, and I feel like a boss fight is at its best when it feels like a full game might have 20 years ago, 30 years ago in terms of its mechanics. It just has such a satisfying uh, dodge this attack, jump here, slash that. Make sure to roll out of the way to this one. Make sure that you parry this one, and watch out for the bullet hell coming in. And it just
It's
feels
actually engaging, so it's actually pulling you into the game rather than kind of just like, okay.
totally like they're very, the boss fights are pretty RNG based. Like you can get lucky if there's a attack that you're particularly effective as exploiting, or if you find really easy to dodge, you might have a much easier time than the next time where he's ends up using the really difficult and high damaging attack 2 out of 4 times in a row,
Mhm.
which is typical for a Souls type boss. And like I'm not saying the game's a masterpiece, but I do think that it is overlooked, and I think that compared to other games, like Hollow Knight, which has certainly gotten its due, even though it maybe did initially when it came out. I think in 2016, when it came out on Switch, it really blew up. I think that people that are looking for that either Castlevania or Hollow Knight or Dark Souls type experience, this one has more platforming than you might expect as well. Like it's got some serious platforming, which can be a little wonky. Uh, I will say that that is something that it could have improved on from a gameplay perspective. But overall, like this is definitely like between an 8 and a 9 for me. I think in terms of if I was writing a review for a magazine or something like maybe an 8.2, 8.3.
Mhm.
I could definitely recommend it. Check out Blasphemous if you're into Souls type things. That's it. That's the end. See you guys next week.
Ooh.
Psych.
Hit him with the elevator music, Tyler. Hit him with the elevator.
Alrighty. So we actually did get a couple of questions from the audience this week, and I'm going to pull those up in just a moment before we move on to the most anticipated game that we've ever experienced in our entire lives.
Oh, this is a good one. 'Cause I can remember one, but it's not like those ones you really waited for, but you didn't really want it to be the one you waited for that long.
I know
So
Pokemon Snap on the Switch.
Yeah.
this one comes in from
Pokemon?
Broadway Vic, and it's for Kenny and Tyler.
Oh, damn.
How snappy are the operating systems on the new generation of consoles? I sold my PS4 because I believe in burning everything down to the ground and starting anew.
Ooh.
Did that before you even got the PS5? That's bold, man. That's bold. Please tell me the PS5 OS runs fast and smooth. Please, God.
Please God.
It is. It is fast. It is smooth. It takes a little bit of getting used to transitioning from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. But once you get used to it, it's good. I like it a
You don't
lot.
want to go back.
No, I won't go back. I'm good with it.
You sure you don't want to sell me that?
You had your chance.
$1,200.
There's got to be more by now, right?
1,200. That's your price. No, I think I'll bide my time.
Hey,
Pick it up.
that's low for a scalper.
Oh God. None
Listen,
on Walmart. It's totally
I
sold
jo-
out still. Can't
I
get it
joined the
anywhere.
raffle. I'll sell you a PS5 if I win the raffle, Wiley.
Okay. I'll
What
pay.
raffle was that?
I joined the raffle with this guy I know on.
Oh, right. You told us at the game shop or something.
Oh, not even. No, this was a different raffle.
Oh, okay.
I joined
The
different
gummy
one.
bear raffle.
This guy I know, he runs a very popular podcast for the Saints, for the New Orleans Saints. So what he's doing
Nice.
is with the raffle money, he normally already every game he does he like picks 2 different players. They're out their combined tackles. He like does $10 per tackle. Then he buys food. He donates that amount of money that from the total, and then buys homeless people around New Orleans food. So what he's gonna do with the raffle money is buy food, clothing, and just different little supplies from the homeless in New Orleans. So I was like, if I win it, don't win it, don't care. I'm always
Good cause.
around supporting good causes, and I've been getting to know the guy. So cool peoples.
Sweet. What's the name of his show?
It is Sports Overtime.
And that's a Saints specific one?
Well, no sports. He talks sports, but he's a big time Saints fan. So
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah.
All right. And our next question comes in from Golden Age Retriever. What game franchise have been neglected far too long by its developer publisher and needs some love in 2021? We may have answered a similar question a few weeks ago, but that's okay. Do we finally get a new Metroid game? Will Sly Cooper come to the PS5 with a new adventure? Maybe a return to form for Pokemon? I mean,
So I'm
I
gonna
hope
lead
so.
off, right? Golden Age Retriever. We are not gonna sit here and talk about Metroid. We know you waiting for it. You know, you love your Metroidvania games, but we are not. Where there's other games that have been neglected, not just Metroid. Okay, man. You
Okay.
understand? You want it. Plenty of people want it.
Those
There's some other
amiibos are going
ones.
for a lot.
You know.
The Samus Return ones when they made the 3DS remake.
It's been so long, Kenny, since they've given us anything but a Metroid Prime 4 logo. I feel his pain.
I don't feel this pain. No.
I don't feel his pain now. That soundtrack though too for
Yikes.
Metroid Prime 2. Oof. It's so
Okay, so
good.
any franchises come to mind for you guys?
Yeah. Let me look. Hold on.
So,
Let me look at my
franchise to me that
franchise
needs
shelf.
the one that needs to return to form, and hopefully right now, since it's all rumored to be in the works behind closed doors, Mass Effect needs to return to form.
Hmm. I think we got Dragon Age 4 coming. I think before
Ooh.
that we're gonna see some.
But Dragon Age, the last one wasn't bad. Inquisition, that was a great game.
Yeah, no, that's not
Yeah.
a game that has had a fall from grace like Andromeda caused, and
Yeah.
I just think that we might still be a few,
I would say we're like 5 to 6 years off from a new Mass Effect.
which is crazy. We'll be old men.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I
We'll
love
Be
the.
halfway through this console generation before we get it.
I'd like
And
to see them do something with Beautiful Joe.
that's a good one. That's a
That
good
is
one.
a good one.
It's been a while.
A couple Konami franchises come to mind. I think that Castlevania it's been too long since it's had its attempt at like a Sonic Mania type of thing, where maybe a passionate developer gets together and makes something in the vein of a Symphony of the Night or Rondo of Blood.
They just did
maybe
that second one, the Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. That
that's
just came
true.
out not too
That's
long
true,
ago.
and I hear that that's awesome. And just completing Blasphemous, that was something that I was considering, and I think that Golden Age
I think it's
Retriever.
actually on sale right now too, Wiley, on Switch.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll
I
check
think
it
so,
out.
yeah.
So, Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon was a Kickstarter goal for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which was a 3D or a 2.5D near AAA game that had a lot of hype and came out either last year or the year before. But Curse of the Moon was a 8-bit reinvention of the Castlevania games of the NES era that was really good, had really beautiful sprite work, memorable boss fights, and can only be it was like $10 or something. It was really solid playthrough. I haven't played through Curse of the Moon 2, but Anthony mentioning it makes me want to pick it up. So I think Castlevania would be a neat one. I've said Jet Moto was one of my favorite games as a kid on the PS1, even though I don't think I'm
Ooh.
pretty alone in that.
Jet Set Radio Future, Jet Set Radio.
That's a great answer, actually. Yeah. Jet Set Radio Future, both really good games.
Power Stone.
Ooh, I did hear that
Power Stone.
I thought that got
Dang.
announced though, that they were working on a Power Stone.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah, I could have sworn. I've been on the internet way too much lately.
I hope so. The character designs of that game were great. I love that. I fell in love with that art design.
Yeah, Tyler doesn't want Power Stone to get remade.
Why not?
Whooped on.
Nah, man. I'll take you on in Power Stone.
He got beat over and over and over.
Oh yeah, be Red Falcon. You root
So
my
this
girl
is-
Rouge.
A total rumor, but I'm seeing the rumor that I think are the thing that you were talking about from about a month ago, November 19th, from NintendoLife.com. According to this document, if it is indeed legit, we got Dragon's Dogma 2, Street Fighter 6, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Onimusha New Work,
Ooh.
Monster Hunter 6, Super Street Fighter 6, Power Stone remake coming in 2024. This is, I think,
2024. Holy
this is to be
cow.
taken with the biggest grains of salt that
This is
you
making
can
me sit up in my
possibly
seat.
think of. And then they have one called Resident Evil Hank coming in
Ooh. Oh, you could
quarter
be
4 2024.
Hank in Resident Evil. He was the.
How can
was he
they
the
estimate
Goku?
Q4 2024?
You know, these they plan these big things quite in advance. You know, interesting. I'm surprised I missed that rumor, and I don't usually mention such unsubstantiated things on the podcast because we're so official and professional, but
It's okay.
there it is. If you want to look it up, you can find out some pretty wild Capcom rumors. Anybody else got any ones they want to add?
I think the one I mentioned last time was Attack and the Power of Juju.
Ooh.
Oh right, yeah.
I heard those games are really good. Those are the ones I always like want to go back and like play.
Isn't there only one?
They are good. No, there's two.
There's like 3, I think,
There were
right?
3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why. It was like a Jack and Daxter pretty much. And then they
Yeah.
came out with a really shitty Nickelodeon cartoon like 4 years too late.
I think the cartoon ruined it.
Oh,
Like
definitely.
ruined the franchise.
What about the Mark of Kree?
Ooh, I have the second one, The Rise of Kasai.
Never even heard of it.
I don't
Kenny, if
remember
you're
it.
talking, we can't hear you. I think you're okay. I think he's on a call. All right, moving on to our topic of the show to close things out for this week on the Level With You show. Since CyberPunk is only 2 days away, the game that has been announced for ever is finally coming out, and it's been on the top of a lot of people's most anticipated lists. I think it'd be fun if we took a trip down memory lane to relive the game at whatever point in our lives we were most stoked for, that we absolutely could not wait to open, throw in the console, hit the download button, whatever it may be, and play. Now, Anthony, have you had time to think about this one?
Yes.
You have. All right. It better not be the same answer as Kenny and Tyler.
Yes. It was actually from back when I worked at GameStop, like
Okay.
in 2010, 2011. It was
Oh, dang.
Pokemon White version or Black,
Oh,
Oh,
depending
Black
on which one you
version.
got.
which one did you go for first?
I'll give you a clue. It's the same color as my skin. White.
Racist.
Not racist. It's a color, black and white. I was gonna be like, yeah, I got the same color as Kenny's skin. Game.
No, but so Pokemon White, and why were you so anticipating it, and did it meet those expectations?
It was the first game where the sprites moved, so I thought that was really cool. When you actually saw them moving around, so it gave the Pokemon a little more life, and I was so super stoked with that. And I thought the region looked really cool, so I was just super hyped. And plus, being like able to work at a GameStop at the time, or working there, and getting that like a week before release, like I think it was like we got a prior Sunday, and that was back when Nintendo released games on Sunday for some reason. And I was like, oh, okay, so we got it like the previous week, and I was like, oh, just sitting at it, looking in the box, just being like, oh, I want to play you so bad.
You couldn't open it. You didn't sneak
Dang.
it.
No, you can't. That was a no. People did it there, but I did not. I was a lame-o.
He's
Huh.
a good boy.
And then was this the first one on the DS?
Second. So yeah, second was right after Diamond and Pearl. That was
Yeah,
Gen 5.
those were the first. Yep.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, that's a nice, unique, yet still typically Anthony answer. Thank you.
Happy to help.
What about you, Kenny?
So, throwing a curveball here for the viewers.
Oh shit.
Most anticipated game, Kingdom Hearts 2.
Ooh,
Ooh.
ooh, sweet.
We didn't talk about before this show at all.
Not at all.
What? Cue the
All right,
the
Kingdom
home
Hearts 2.
improvement.
What about Kingdom Hearts 2
sound
made it the
effect.
most hype of the whole series for you?
It was well, so like I was explaining, 3 of course was hyped because it was 3 and then the amount of time it took to develop, right? But that's a scapegoat answer. I feel as though 2 was one of the most hyped for me because of how 1 ended. Like it was such a great game. I loved the game, fell in love with the franchise instantly after that game. I was ready for sequels from left and right? And I was like, I
Sequels,
need to
prequels,
know
everything in between.
everything in between. I was like, I
2.8,
need to know
3.5,
where.
9.2s. Just give it to me.
Yep, I know the 0.2s, the 0.5s were happening, but I'll take it. I bought them. I have them. I'm happy. And I was like, damn, like beat part 1, and I was like, yo, I need to see where Mickey and Riku is. I need to see how Sora gets back to Kairi.
Where'd the
Like-
door go? How did he get to that big field at
Exactly.
the end? That was my biggest question.
What was that letter that Pluto gave them? What are these things?
Who
I
are
need
these
to
guys?
know. So it left me
Nice.
just wanting more from this franchise that I just fell in love with, and at that time I had forums to scour for things, and then
KingdomHeartsRumors.com.
Message boards were that was prime message board years,
Oh, yeah.
2002
Yep.
to 2005.
NeoGaf,
I
Angel
used to
Fire.
be on the GameFAQs.com forums and there, you know, just
That that
searching, and
that
then I
was your
found
main forums.
yeah, that was my main gaming forum. Um, so then I found out about, a couple years later, the final mix extra ending in Japanese, and I watched that on the early YouTube.
Ooh, when you get to fight the hooded guy, where
Yep.
it's like, "Oh, I didn't get to see this cutscene."
I was like, I didn't see this. What is this?
Yep. And the new Keyblades from Sephiroth and Ice Titan when you
Yep.
fought him. I
I
remember
was
being
like,
really upset about that we never got that
I
when I was
know
younger.
we got it years later as adults, but not when we were younger. But that was mine. Let me hear yours, Wiley.
Sure thing. So I can take you back to a eventful day on November the 9th, 2004. So I was unfortunately couldn't get out of going to school. I tried and wasn't quite able to swing that, but I was able to make my mom go to the store and pick the game up for me. And at this point in my life, I was taking the school bus home from school. I had an iPod Classic. I had the original Halo soundtrack ripped to my iMac that I then transferred to my iPod Classic. As I walked off the bus stairs, I loaded up the original Halo theme as I walked off the bus, walked down the block to boot up Halo 2 for the first time. I hear the oh, like I'm about to finally get the Holy Grail, my most anticipated game ever. A game that had not one but two incredible E3 showcases. That was, I think, besides maybe a GTA or Dragon Quest in Japan, like just the biggest event type of game maybe of the century so far. That just had the fan base foaming at the mouth to get their hands on it, and I was definitely one of them. I got the silver edition. It was like $10 more. It had the two on it, and it was like the original steelbook.
Ooh.
And yeah, so did it meet expectations after the first one? Initially, I'll actually say that no, it did not.
Oh.
From a campaign standpoint, I actually was quite disappointed for a couple reasons. One, it was the first time I think I ever can remember being actively disappointed from a technical standpoint in a game, because the game shipped with terrible, terrible pop in the cutscenes. Just it would load up a pretty much blank spaceship, and then over the course of 2 to 3 seconds you'd see everything pop in. It was just like super jarring, and after the super smooth and polished original game, I just found that to be a little bit much. um, I thought that the earth level that was so amazing that in the E3 presentation that they shown, while it was still cool, just didn't quite meet my 14-year-old expectations for whatever reason. As I played it over the years, I gained an appreciation for it, and I think that some aspects of it are still amazing, like the physics of shooting the banshees out of the sky with the tank when you're on that big bridge is pretty awesome, and just the scope of it is still impressive. I think 16 years later, what this game really nailed was the multiplayer for me. That just was it was my first real Xbox Live experience where I was really into it. I had the Ethernet cable hooked up, a 50-foot cord going every which way to get to the broadband router. And overall, it eventually met expectations, but there was nothing like the lead up to it. That was just the most, got to get my hands on it. I remember even I posted something on IGN like, what's the worst thing you would do in order to get Halo 2? And
What was the
some of
best
the answers,
answer?
I can't remember. It's been like 16 years. I think I was so immature at this time. I was like, I would let some random person in a foreign country die.
Oh my gosh.
How that's not affect that doesn't affect you at all.
But I remember being called out on it, and I was like, yeah, I guess that was pretty insensitive
Oh,
and
shit.
stupid to say. And I sort of posted a lot of stupid shit on the internet when I was, between the ages of 10 and 15.
Hey, we had a good, thank God, it was back then, like, everything's so old now. You do that shit today, you're getting canceled for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Right.
No,
We
yeah,
had it good.
We're
Totally.
rebranding, renaming Level with You.
Yeah.
Because Wiley's old IGN forum posts have resurfaced.
Yeah, right.
We're sad to say.
They're here to ruin our 213 subscriber notoriety.
We really hope you guys won't think any difference of us.
You
Yeah.
know what's funny, Wiley? Before we get to Tyler's most anticipated, talking about Halo 2, right? I don't know if you remember, not that long, like a couple months ago, I was doing a streaming, trying to get through the whole Halo franchise
Right.
before
Yep.
Infinite on Legendary.
You
We
got
got
plenty of time now.
we got because it just got announced that it's fall 2021.
Oh, did it?
Eh.
Yeah, not that long ago, within like the last hour or two, it got announced.
Wow.
So we get to me and Studio 149. We got to Halo 2. We begin it. We finished part 1 on Legendary. We're feeling good about it. And then I never knew about a stupid mechanic in part 2. At part 1, when a partner dies, you just had to get out of combat and he will respawn on you.
Hmm.
Part 2, anyone dies, you go back to your last checkpoint.
Really? I thought
Instantly.
the 2 you
On
have to go.
Legendary.
On Legendary? I thought I
On
played it on Legendary.
Legendary,
All you
the
had to do was leave combat.
No, and that was part 1 and part 3. Part
Really?
2, they decided to switch it up and make it so that if anyone died, it reloaded to the last checkpoint.
Really?
Mhm.
We haven't even finished the first mission
Oh
That
my God.
sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
because
it's
we'd be
rough.
there like, oh, one more person to kill, and then, doom. No, why did you die? All the enemies are now spawned again, and we're back at the beginning of that fight.
If anything, you're getting better. It's
I'm
training for your
getting
gamer
worse.
Except for
brain.
he gives up and just doesn't do it for weeks.
Yeah, that's why I like seeing a bar go up. So I'm like, yes, I am getting better. Maybe not, but look, the number says
Mhm.
it's higher now.
Hey,
That's the first.
listen.
The Call of Duty 4 figured that out.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, what was I gonna say? Halo 2 was infamously known for the jackals with the sniper rifles on Earth that could one-shot
God.
you. Those are terrible, man. On Legendary,
Mhm.
those are seriously rough. I think 2 has the reputation as being the toughest, at least of the original trilogy, to complete on Legendary. I've done the first one on Legendary a bunch. That's my most played game probably ever. So I bet I could do that. I need some practice for sure, but I bet I could get reacclimated and do that. But 2 just seems super daunting, and it's 15 levels. The
Yep.
second half of the game is very claustrophobic, and there's a whole arbor sections, and it's very sort of like hard sci-fi as comparison to Halo 1, which was, I don't know, felt more like a
Soft sci-fi.
Hollywood movie. Yeah, to an extent, sort of soft sci-fi. Yeah. Tyler, was it your turn?
yeah, my most anticipated game. I was gonna go back to 2007, Christmas Day, and I was 14 years old. Didn't really have a whole lot of monies. So when I opened up this big old box and saw the big Rock Band logo with all the instruments and the drum set and things like that all together, the microphone. I mean, this thing was probably like $120, like when it came out or something like that, because it came with everything.
Yep.
So I was like super hyped about that.
Bro, it
and
costs
then-
$250.
Oh, dang.
Oh no,
Yeah,
never mind. That's the current price of Rock Band 4. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the like
jeez.
the Rock Band 4 with everything, but it was 120 when Rock Band 1 came out with the guitar, the mic, and the drums.
Yeah, something like that. So I was stoked. I was definitely asking my dad for that game for a while. I mean, I think it came out like pretty close to Christmas time, back in 2007.
I think it did.
But-
That was like the big boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it did. You're right. November 20th.
So yeah, it was right around the corner. Everyone, I feel like rhythm games were pretty huge back then, with a Guitar Hero kicking it off, and then Rock Band coming and following suit. Because they introduced kind of like the drum set, didn't they? I mean, Guitar
they
Hero
did.
didn't have that.
Because the Guitar Hero
Definitely.
only had the guitar, they didn't have the mic, so they came in and introduced the drum set and the mic.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it was just like revolutionary.
And then World
It
Tour
was
came out, and they're like, "We're cool too."
Yeah, World Tour was trash. So for some reason, I'd always preferred Rock Band a lot more. I
Yeah.
remember when my buddy, his older brother picked up Rock Band. We were jamming out every single day afterwards. You know,
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
was,
let's
it,
do
it
it.
was
such
so
a
much
good party
fun. So
game.
much, so much fun to have friends over and then just jam out and play through some sets and kind of. I mean, and like the cool thing about it was like everyone could have their own character, and then
Yeah, that was my
your
favorite part.
your character, you're kind of playing through these tours together and stuff like that, and I mean, that's one of those games where you're able to kind of like progress as a band together.
Yeah,
It's not like
Yeah.
and you could
separate.
customize your guy too. It was sick.
You know, it's funny. After COVID, we need to have a game night, right? Or it doesn't matter when. And because I have practically almost all the instruments. One more guitar, and we're set. But I have a guitar, I have the drums, and I have the mic.
Hell
Nice.
And I
Nice.
have Rock Band 4, where I was so into Rock Band that when Rock Band 2 came out, I paid the $10 in the DLC to transfer all the songs from 1 into 2.
hmm
And when 3 came out, transferred all the songs from 1 and 2 into 3. And then when they finally allowed that feature into 4, brought all those songs in 4.
You can do that?
And
That's nuts. I didn't know you could
yeah,
do that.
so in 4 I have songs from 1, 2, 3, all my DLCs. I think I'm up to almost 300 and something songs right now that are playable on my Rock Band 4
Wow.
right now.
That's a good
Yeah.
iPod.
Yeah, I think just like thinking about just like DLC for like any type of game, I feel like Rock Band, or not Rock Band, but just like rhythm games in general are probably where I've spent the most on like DLCs to get like new songs. I mean, I think to like Rock
The songs
Band
are
and Guitar
2,050
Heroes.
cents.
I mean, I think even like today, I think back to like Beat Saber. I bought in like some of those like expansion packs. Whereas like most of the time, like I'm not going to spend any money on like Fortnite skins or skins for Call of Duty or things like that, but I'll definitely like shell out for some new songs on a rhythm game.
New
Yeah.
songs that totally change up the experience. Yeah.
Yep.
Neat. Well, I was more of a Guitar Hero person just because I didn't have the space, or I don't know why I didn't get into Rock Band. Like I've played it a few times, but I never got particularly good at it. I've enjoyed over the past few years being a giant Bomb fan, watching Alex Navarro be pretty passionate about playing the drums in that game. He's a real life drummer, and for Extra Life last year, he did a 24-hour straight drum stream,
That's awesome.
which
Nice.
was pretty epic.
That's wild.
But anyway, that is a neat answer. Everybody's gone, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Anticipation's
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Anticipation is over. We got a full hour, 10+ minute episode. First time in a couple weeks. That feels good. And
How the fuck do I keep doing that? I don't know why I'm just like. it's like a tick now. It's like I got Tourette's.
Check it
I'm like,
out.
Sick, dude.
audio listeners, you'll just have to guess what Anthony's doing.
Yeah, what am I doing, guys? Look, get ready. Yeah.
Hold on, we got to do it near the mic so they can try and hear it.
All right.
Decipher the sound.
What am I doing?
She's doing it.
Oh God.
Oh, jeez.
Definitely nothing with a mayonnaise jar.
All right,
Well,
everybody.
we forgot to talk about Mortal Kombat 11, but we're gonna be playing some of that soon, and checking
I
out
want
some
to see
new
you guys
characters.
scream.
Yeah, we will be doing that.
Mhm.
As nerve-wracking as it will be for the both of us.
Just have a couple beers. It's fine.
All right, we'll see everybody next week, and till then,
Stay level.
stay level.
Stay
Level.
Bye.
alive.